All right, so now we can do a big hearty good morning. Thank you. I just wanted to start us off by saying welcome to the third week of school. Awesome. And I do want us to just hold a place in our hearts and in our minds for those in the Carolinas right now dealing with the effects of Hurricane Florence. And obviously each week we gather as a community, there is something that we can recognize that's happening in the world. And as long as we can try to make spaces for us to contemplate, think about, and also think about how we can help, and I'm sure we'll publicize some of those ways. It's just a good reflective practice to keep in mind those who are struggling right now. So have a great week, and now turn over to our wonderful student body presidents, Sarah and Eddie.
Thank you, Mr. Temple. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to week 3.
We have a few reminders for the upcoming weeks. This Thursday, there are picture day makeups here in the gym. So if you were absent last week, or if your parents didn't want to send your grandparents a photo where you're wearing a sparkly pink shirt that says "School Sucks," spelled S-U-X, then Thursday might be the day you came in. Also, if you took a photo with a lobster in your hands, and that lobster, thank you, and that lobster was holding dollar bills, and somehow your parents just didn't appreciate that, even after you explained to them that that lobster holding the dollar bills symbolized American animalistic capitalism and greed. And that by holding that lobster in your hands, you were saying that you would no longer be suffocated by the claws of American consumerism and targeted advertising. And that by holding that lobster, you were saying to these wealthiest companies in America that you don't own me, I own you. So, if your parents didn't like your photo or you weren't here last week, please come to the gym on Thursday.
Thank you for that wonderful monologue, Eddie. When Lou Advising is on CAF duty this week, so keep that CAF clean. Also, the campaign fair for Student Council Class Representative elections will be this Friday in the courtyard. So come see your fellow students. Running for rep is really exciting and really important to your classmates. Come see them, talk to them, ask them about their platforms.
And this information will be posted in the e-Tiger, but just a heads up that freshman elections will be in the library, sophomores in the theater, juniors in the gym, and seniors in the CAF.
Elections will be next Monday, the 24th, so get excited. Come out to the courtyard on Friday to support your classmates. I loved being rep. I thought it was really exciting. And it's a really important job because you can talk to your reps and they can get your ideas out to student council and they can tell others what you want changed and make that change happen.
So come out and vote on Monday. You are, I guess, sort of required to be there. But remember that there are people all across the country who can't vote in these elections, and that's mainly everyone who isn't a student at Lick-Wilmerding High School. So with that in mind, speaking of elections, we'd now like to invite up Roma and Harry to talk about Prop C.
Hello, everybody. So if you didn't know, we're having elections in November, as you probably mostly heard about, for Congress, the midterms, but we also have some exciting local things going on. So we're with the Prop C campaign, we volunteer with them, and we just wanted to tell you a little bit about it.
Okay, so Our City, Our Home is the proposition that we're going to tell you about, and it's made up of people who provide homeless services and tenants' right organizations, business owners, and community members.
So to give you a little bit of historical context about why the homelessness crisis in San Francisco is so bad right now, the Housing and Urban Development Department is a federal program that controls public housing, homeless services, and so their budget was cut by Reagan in 1980 by essentially 90%. And so that's why since the 1980s we've seen such a rise in homelessness and people suffering from mental health crises because of the homelessness epidemic.
Okay, so just for like a background of how homelessness is in San Francisco right now, we have a lot of people waiting for shelter beds on the wait list for that, but also a lot of people who are able to or don't feel comfortable in shelters who are just homeless on the streets. And then there are also homeless people are more likely to die younger than people who are housed. And there are many chronically homeless people, which are people who have been homeless for like many years. And a lot of these homeless people have other parts of their identity that impact them, and in some cases like stop them from being able to fully function. Like disabilities, but then also many people are targeted based on race and their identity.
Okay, so we have a cool little graphic here, the ripple effect of failed homeless policy. So our kind of slogan for Prop C is the homelessness crisis affects all of us. So the police are forced to act as social workers. Now in San Francisco, we passed Prop Q 2 years ago, which says that there can't be tent encampments on the streets, and basically the police come, they do homeless sweeps, which were actually recently ruled to be unconstitutional to criminalize someone when they don't have any other option. And then they confiscate their belongings and basically say, move, and then essentially what happens is the encampment just moves down the street. So this is kind of part of the failed policy in San Francisco. More importantly, there's just a loss of human life and dignity when people are forced to be homeless. And there's an impact on small businesses, street cleaning, and 1 in 25 kids in SFUSD is homeless. So that's essentially 1 in every classroom, which is pretty astounding given that we live in one of the richest cities in the country.
So basically, speaking of like the homeless youth, there have been a lot of homeless youth in San Francisco recently, and there's only one program called the Larkin Street, which helps with homeless youth. And usually homeless youth are coming from either coming out of foster care, they're leaving their houses because of either an unsafe situation at their house, like abuse or something like that, or being kicked out because of their identity, like if they're come out as like some like gay or something like that, and they're kicked out of their house. And a lot of homeless kids leave the house at 14, but then at 25 they're not considered youth anymore, and then it's really hard for them to find other services.
This is just an overview of how we spend our current Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing budget in San Francisco. As you can see, most of it goes towards supportive housing, which is services for people who are already housed. So Prop C kind of fills in the gaps in that funding. Here's a solution. Here's some good news now. So the vision in a nutshell, it will prevent homelessness for 7,000 households, eliminate the shelter wait list, build 5,000 new units of housing for homeless people, and provide funding for mental health services. So it's a really holistic measure.
Okay, so basically one statistic that I feel like a lot of people don't know about San Franciscan homeless people is a lot of people think that because we have services in San Francisco, people just come from all different places who are homeless and they come to San Francisco, but actually 70% of homeless people who are in San Francisco used to be housed, and so Prop C would help provide prevention for people to like lose their housing.
An overview of how the funding breakdown is. And so to pay for this, this is a tax on corporations in the city that make over $50 million a year in revenue. So these companies all just got a huge 14% tax cut from Trump. So this is only a 0.5% increase. So it's really a small impact on the businesses, but it will make a huge impact on the lives of homeless people in San Francisco.
So basically you can help in a bunch of ways. You can find out about the weeklizations on the Facebook, Our City, Our Home SF, and usually those are just like door knocking or doing lit drops, and it's fun because you get to see like, usually there's a couple speakers in the beginning, and then also you can donate through our website, ourcityourhomesf.org. And then every Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30, there is phone baking at 350 Alabama Street with food, so that's really fun. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great measure. We hope you'll support sophomores. You can get PPP hours, and we're just trying to make the city a better place for all people and restore dignity to our homeless neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you to Roma and Harry, and now we want to invite up Nevin to talk about FANG Club. And Mud, and Tuvia, and Molly, and Elise.
Okay, hi everybody. Okay, so we're about to present on FANG Club, Fostering Activists for the Next Generation. I'm Roma. I'm Elise. I'm Molly.
I'm Nevin.
Tuvia.
I'm Mud, and we're all juniors except Tuvia, who's a senior. Okay, so our need is that we're creating an intentional space to focus and grow activism at Lick, because the past couple of years, activism at Lick has been a little messy, and we're trying to focus the great energy that we all have into something that's really intentional and focused. Also, we want to do more bite than bark. We're called FANG. Lick does a lot of roaring. Also, we want to develop leadership regardless of grade level. It's been a trend at Lick that only juniors and seniors can really take leadership roles at Lick, and we want to open that up to the underclassmen as well. Alright, so some of our goals for this year and also for coming years is that we want to provide trainings around activism so people are more on the same page and have kind of a sense of what this looks like. So we're trying to make activism more accessible to everyone here at Lick instead of being in very distinct groups of people who kind of know what's going on and other people like trying to plug in. And finally, we're trying to bridge a connection between students and faculty around what this looks like, just so that communication is clearer and there's less kind of pent-up emotions and like weird hectic moments like that have been in the past.
Okay, so obviously we're a new student club on campus, so this year, if you join our club, you'll be able to like help figure out like what our mission is, what like the club looks like each year. So each semester we're gonna have biannual social justice themes, so that we're gonna brainstorm and vote on those. So in the first few club meetings, we'll be figuring out what our social justice theme is for this semester. So furthermore, we're trying to establish a more formal relationship between students, faculty, and the administration. So allowing students to help shape not only student activism, but Lick's attitude towards activism as an institution. And then we also want to make activism more a part of the student experience. A part of that would be potentially having some sort of PPP component with our club. So we're still figuring that out, but that's in the works.
All right, so we all know that nobody can change the world by themselves, right? Every social movement takes a community to work together to see a problem and go and fix it together. So whether you're somebody who has a policy that you're already working to change, or whether you're someone who wants to get involved in social justice and doesn't know how, we hope that you'll come. Join FANG. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, you can email us, you can come up and talk to any one of us, maybe one of them because I know I'm a senior and scary. But we hope you'll come join us and let's put the community in community organizing. Thank you.
Thing, so we find out what day our club is actually on tomorrow. So if you actually want to come figure out when that is, you can check it out on all of our social media. We'll post it.
Thank you to FANG, and we're now going to invite up a performance from the Muses and Waves.
There will be food.
We're the Muses. We're Lick's all-female a cappella group. If you're female identifying and interested in singing, please come check us out at Club Fair. It's a lot of fun. And we've also prepared a little song, so hope you'll enjoy it.
Let's get one more round of applause for both groups. And bear with us for a moment, and we are going to present a spotlight shown by the community networkers.
Yeah. No? Okay. Then I made. Oh my god. This is gonna work. What's up, everyone? I'm Gavin, your host with the most this week for the Spotlight Summer Edition, and let's get started. Beach or swimming pool?
Ooh, beach. Swimming pool.
Why?
Because you get like the ocean and the sand. It's better.
I don't like nature.
Beach. Yeah, beach. A warm beach. Just like, if it's warm, like you don't want to swim in the cold ocean.
Swimming pool, it's just more fun. Beach is lame.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Swimming pool.
Swimming pool. Pool.
Why?
I'm afraid of the ocean.
Beach. Why?
Sea urchins.
I would say swimming pool because swimming pool there's like so many more opportunities. So you can have like a water slide, a wave pool.
Beach.
Why?
Which is nice.
What was your favorite song of the summer and why?
My favorite song of the summer would probably be Good Vibrations by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. It hits home, you know? Lucid Dreams, Juice WRLD.
Girls Like You, Maroon 5.
Despacito 2.
Sunflower by Rex Orange County. Say it again, please.
Bo Bamba.
If you were stuck on an island with only one book from the Lick English department, which book would you bring and why?
Children of Blood and Bone. It's so fascinating and interesting. It just gives me so much joy.
Well, I don't really like any of the books they've given me so far.
I only have 2 books, but I guess, like, do you have to bring one? 100%. Potiki!
Potiki, because I would have so much time to annotate the book. That's easy. Potiki.
Yeah, it's not Potiki.
I like Kindred.
Potiki.
Potiki!
Last one. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Cardi B.
Why?
She just seems sweeter. I just like her more.
Cardi B.
Why?
Because she has a child, and that's cool.
Cardi B. I'm gonna go with Cardi B too. Minaj. Nicki Minaj. Cardi.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
What?
I like her hair.
Cardi B.
Okay, so I just like heard like the other day that like Cardi B, she like snaked us all, and she like paid the radios to play her songs, but like she makes better music, so.
Great, let's get another round of applause for our community networkers and everyone who participated. And we are gonna use this one? We're now gonna invite the Waves back because they're gonna help us do cutoffs. And Muses if you wanna help as well. And we're gonna invite you for announcements. You can line up here. Remember our rules, only 2 person per announcements. Keep it short, keep it to the point. Come on up.
Hi, my name's Amika. I'm a senior, and this year, Lick is putting on our very first multicultural show, and we want all of you guys to perform in it. So if you want to perform a dance or sing or do anything else to share a part of your culture with the community, there's going to be a link in the e-Tiger next week to sign up for it. But if you have any questions, you can come up to me or Ms. Torres and ask us about it. So thank you.
I'm Elliot, I'm a senior. I'm the leader of Wood Carving Club. Wednesdays after school in the wood shop. Come out, it's a lot of fun. Me and Mr. Sanborn, yeah.
Hi, I'm Will.
I'm Collie.
We're part of the water polo team. We have a home game on Thursday at City College. We're playing Alameda High. The boys game will start at 3:30. The girls game will start at 4:30. And the JV boys will start at 5:30.
Go JV boys.
Let's go.
I'm Eamon, and I would, like Mr. Temple said, I would like to use my time to think about those who are suffering in North Carolina, including my family. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Bella. I'm an LY. I'm Carolyn Wilson. Okay, so the public parochial school fair is this Saturday. If you're interested in volunteering, please check out the link in the e-Tiger that went out yesterday.
And also don't forget to sign up to host shadows. It's in the e-Tiger and it also can be found at lwhs.org/hosting.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Tamisha. This is just an announcement / challenge / reminder. I challenge you all to pick up every bit of your trash after lunch today. That would be amazing. So just in addition to respecting our community and space, it also helps us to not be plagued by the seagulls and their poop after lunch. And it's also respectful to our facility staff who's cleaning, because that extra trash is just not acceptable. So thank you so much. Let's see if we can do that today.
Hi, I'm Haley. I'm Aubrey. We're here to talk to you really quickly about QY. It's a confidential queer youth group for queer or questioning kids or anyone who wants to come. If you want to come talk to one of us, we will not be at the club fair.
We're super friendly, and please come, because we didn't have like huge attendance, and we want lots and lots of people to come because we're super supportive and we love you all.
Also, this is different from GSA. Straight people can come to GSA.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm Amelia, and the field hockey team has 2 games at City College today. The first one at 4.
And tomorrow we have a game in Berkeley, so at 4.
Hi, I'm Yoshi. I'm a president of Asia Club.
I'm Ellie. I'm co-president of Asia Club.
This Friday, we have our first meeting in room 8. During lunch, we will be discussing representation and the movie Crazy Rich Asians, which is really good. And we have hella food too.
And to all the boys I've loved before, so come out for some chats about Asian representation in the movies. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who shared an announcement or participated today, and you are free to go.